Of the remaining grunge bands of the 90s, there are a few that have successfully kept the train rolling through adversity as well as Alice in Chains. Over the past decade, after finding a new vocalist in William DuVall, Alice in Chains has done its best to continue their legacy as one of the big four of Seattle grunge by making new music and honoring their past by performing the big songs that made them a household name. Rainier Fog, named after Mount Rainier, is the third album featuring DuVall as vocalist and is the first album in over 20 years to be recorded in Seattle, part of which was recorded in the same studio that the 1995 self-titled album was made with Layne Staley. Jerry Cantrell spoke with Revolver magazine about coming full circle when going back to Seattle for this one, and it definitely seems that they are trying to make it feel that way. Since The Devil Put Dinosaurs Here and Black Gives Way to Blue have come, I feel that the music from Alice in Chains has been more than worthy of being under the band's name. That being said, I also have never felt that either of these two albums have left as much of an impact as the self-titled Dirt and the Jar of Flies EP have. Regardless of the ranking of albums of the band's long discography, both before and after the break in time, I still find myself hopeful that the new Alice in Chains will be something to capture the sound that once dominated music in the early and mid-90s. While I have never been blown away by recent Alice in Chains music, I also have never felt it's worthy of shouting betrayal. Tracks like The One You Know, Rainier Fog, the title track, and Red Giants are what you will be hitting up most on Alice in Chains' latest offering. These are the songs that not only grab you with the rhythm, but also make you happy to be a rock fan. They are well written and have a great flow, all while being technically sound. Everything you want in grunge is in the first 3 songs on this album. The style of The One You Know and the other 2 songs I previously mentioned are what I was hoping for in a new Alice in Chains album. They are reminiscent of a past generation while still holding up today as new music and something different in today's hard rock scene. The riffs are thick and low, and the vocal harmony between DuVall and Cantrell is fantastic. It's after these 3 songs where the speed drops a step in tempo and the heaviness is let up a bit. Rainier Fog is a front-loaded album. I wouldn't mind that as much, but there are many songs that drag on far too long, and while the instruments are clear and everything sounds fluid, there isn't much to really grab onto like those first 3 tracks. You'll have songs like Fly and Drone which have a grunge feel to them and still sound decent on the low tone, but it's nowhere near as strong as the first few tracks. I can't say it's filler territory because there are good segments and some of the lyric writing in a few of the later songs work well, but great tracks that want to make you hear a song again are hard to come by. This album excels when it's a little heavier, but when it gets slower and lighter with acoustics or softer singing, it doesn't connect as well. There is solid stuff on here, and the more I listen to it, the more the album grows on me, but I have to admit that I'm not really floored when I'm hearing it. The band talked in interviews about being very proud of this album and its writing both in music and lyrics. The problem, however, is that many songs come off as decent, but uninteresting. I don't think there's one bad thing about Rainier Fog, but you can't help but want more. Something striking and memorable like the band has been known for in the past. I do like this album, but whether it's something heavy or a softer ballad, you want to be blown away, not just wish for better. There are some good points in the album after the first 3 songs, like the fantastic closer All I Am and the guitar and bass that never fade, but there's a long stretch of about 4 songs that are just okay. And when you want to listen to Alice in Chains, you want something more than just background music. I think that's really what's keeping this from being a higher score. Overall, Rainier Fog, while having decent moments, doesn't feel like a full front-to-back journey. There are a couple strong tracks on here, and this album is a great example of needing repeated listens to get into. Alice in Chains fans will be satisfied, and there isn't a terrible song on this album, even if it will leave many listeners wishing for something more striking like in the grungy 90s.